Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back. As always, huge massive thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. So I'm coming back again with the members free gift. This is the current members free gift at Hunkydory, which means if you sign in as you sign up to their club, which is free, you do get I think it's 5% off your orders, anything you buy, and you also can purchase this free gift usually about once a quarter, so every 3 months or so. But this is the current one for February, and it is stunning. There's just no other way to say it. It's just got this beautiful sort of feature foiling on, accent foiling. It's just beautiful. Today I'm going to be playing with Meadow Moments. So this is the one that has 6 sort of large tag shapes on them. You've got sentiments, lovingly handmade, spread your wings, happy birthday and best wishes. But 3 of the tags also have those large sentiments on as well. I believe this is the cardstock that goes with it. I've sort of gone by what's on their website and what they've kind of put in the same row. So I think that one is the foiled cardstock. This one is the printed. I've got 2 inserts because I got the large £12.99 pack, and you also get the double-sided papers, which I'm going to be using today. So to start with, I'm going to grab a piece of 6x12 cardstock, and I've also got that piece that I cut off from last time I crafted, and I'm just going to cut this, I think, to around about 2 inches. Let me just go back and check the tag. I did measure it, but the measurement's gone out of my head. So the measurement on the tag is around about 2 and just over 2 1/4. So I'm going to do that at 2 1/2, and that's going to be the 12 inches long. Okay, so let's bring in my scoreboard, and I'm just going to make it a little simple stepper, and I'm doing like a faux stepper with the piece coming over the top. So I'm going to score on this larger piece at 2, at 4, and then I'm just going to spin that around and do a 4 the other side. This is purely because I've got the smaller board. If you haven't, you're just going to go 2, 4 and 8. And then this one here, we are going to score at 6. So that's the halfway point of our card. So let's pop that one out of there. And I'm going to bring in my little burnishing tool. And we'll start with that piece there. It does look like it's not quite even, but we can sort that out. And just giving those a good burnish down. So at the end of it, we're going to have a card that sits like that. Okay, and then this piece is going to come over the top of it. You might have the longer piece at the back and have that coming up and have that as a feature. So it would be great if it was 6x6, because then you would just put it exactly to the bottom of the card, and it would fall flat. But I can just work around that and use that as a sort of feature on my card. I just need to measure it when I'm doing my layers. Okay, so let's start by bringing in my trimmer. Now I am going to start with these 2 little offcuts of silver. So I know this piece here is 2x6, so that's already 2 notches off the 6. So I'm just going to take 2 notches off the 2. That one's going to go onto there, and then this one at the back, let me just bring that over. So we've got that one there, this one at the back there, that's 4x6. So let's just cut this down to 2 notches under the 6, and then we want a piece that's going to be 2 notches under the 4. Sorry, there goes Henry. Apologies, Amazon man. Okay, So then for this piece here, let's just measure up to that crease. I'm not decorating the back, so that is 5 3/4. So if I take that to 5 3/4 under 2 notches, and then the width was 2.5, so we just go to 2 notches underneath that. I'm just going to take a little bit more off that. Let's go to 3 notches. So I'm just really cutting it to fit this piece here, just so we can still use it. That's a bit better there. And then I'm going to bring in some of the cardstock. So I'm going to cut this to 5 3/4. And then I'm going to cut it to 5 3/4 that way. And I'm going to do the smaller step first, so that's 1 3/4, and it's going to be totally this dark blue gingham, really, I suppose that is. And then the back piece is going to be 3 3/4. Got a nice thin little border that I might use elsewhere, but I've got that beautiful lace detail in, and if I put that at the top, those two ginghams are going to tie that together. Now for this piece here, I'm going to use the paper, and I want to use this floral side because then it's going to pretty up all of that, although you won't see as much from it because of the tag, and I might turn the paper over if it clashes too much. But let's go to 2 1/4. And I'm going to go to, let's go to 5 1/2 first of all. I can always take a little bit more off, but it's really hard to add it back on. Well, it's not hard, you just have to add a ribbon, but okay. So I'm just going to take 2 notches off that. I think should be great. If I can pick it up. I'm going to cut that again because I think that's just a little bit too much. Because it's paper, I can always use that piece elsewhere. So let's go 2 1/4 and 5 1/2 minus 1. Let's just go minus 1 this time. Let's see, that should fit better. Yeah. I'm going to tidy that edge up on my guillotine as well. So every now and then, mind you, there was a bit of paper stuck under there, so that might have affected it a little bit. Let me just, sorry about the creaky chair, and just tidy that up. So I'm just literally just popping the end on and just sharpening that edge up. Okay. So let's start. Sorry about the creaky chair. I have got plans to get it sorted, but it's just a couple of other things to sort out first of all. So the glues I'm going to be using, my usual glues. I've got the Clow tacky glue, which is the white PVA sort of glue. Got the Clow all-purpose glue, which is the same as the construction glue from Hunkydory, and it's an alcohol-based glue. I don't know why I've gone and put dots there as well. But I'm also going to be using the dot runner as well. I know why I've put dots on, because I made a video yesterday for a sneak peek, and they like us to use all Hunkydory things, so, and I like to oblige. So instead of the tacky glue, I use the dotty tape pen on those videos. So, but let's go back to my normal crafting. Next piece. So this one we can go in straight on. Again, I always say you could go in and emboss this, You could pop a little bit of ribbon along it. You could just put it through your scoreboard and put a couple of line scores on it. Loads of things you can do to just take this cardstock that extra notch higher. I'm keeping it quite plain and simple to give you a sort of starting point, really. And then you might want to copy it exactly. You might want to tweak it with the papers instead of the cardstock. You might not want to use this set at all. You might want to use a different set and see how it comes out. You know, so it's just I like to say like a serving suggestion, really. You do with it as you will. I think these members free gifts and the magazine, I really look forward to crafting them on video, because it's great to give people ideas if they're stuck and get people using their kit, and because it's they're such great starting points as well. That's where we're at the moment. So yeah, they're really great to start crafting with. Right, before I do that, let me have a look at my tags. Now, I kind of was thinking maybe going with something with a sentiment on. So let's go with "Here's a flower just for you, with happy wishes for a happy day and love throughout the year." And then I might use that "happy birthday" as well, if it will come out. I think that's going to stand up really nicely against that dark topper. Now, let's have a little look. So I'm planning on having this tag come over a bit. Kind of feel like that one is probably going to be the better one, because that one kind of just fades into it a little bit. Now, because this is paper, I do need to use the dots on that. I can't use my tacky glue because of the water in it, but the alcohol glue is absolutely fine. So let's go ahead. I use sticking before I want you to. Just float that in. Okay, and then now, because we're on my normal cardstock to cardstock, and go back to normal glue. Okay, we can pop this one onto here. Give that a little smooth down. Okay, so now we're going to need some red liner tape. And because this is going to go, actually that just needs to go over a little bit. Because this is going to go on the back of the card or right down to the bottom of the card, I know I've got 4 inches to glue on there. But the reason why I'm using red liner tape is because I want this to stick straight away so I can be working on it on the video. At home, you will be able to use your normal glue, so your tacky glue, your all-purpose glue. Either of those glues will work well to do this task. You might have to just put something on them to clamp them together, but they will do the job perfectly well. Okay, so I'm going to start taking the back off here. Just going to curl that over. That's just popped over the side. I'm going to pop some all-purpose over there, and then what I'm going to do is pop that down nice and straight on the bottom of my card. Now that red liner tape will hold that in place, and it will get that it will allow that glue to go off. So now if I come around this side, again, just fold that tape over. Now I haven't got quite as high, I'm trying not to press it down, I've only got cardstock to about an inch or so. Well, officially it's 2 inches, but so I'm just going to pop a little bit there. I'm going to fold the card down, and then we're just going to give that a press, and then that will fit onto the card quite nicely, like so, and the card will still fold relatively flat, okay, which is what we want, because we want to be able to get it in that envelope at the end. So still got a little bit of fluffiness there, but hopefully we will hide that later on. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to have this tag coming over, we're going to have this here, maybe a couple of gems over there, and that is going to be this card finished. Now I'm not going too high, put it on the right side, because we've already got quite a thickness of card there, so if I keep it, you know, within the 1-2 millimeters, that's going to be easier for me to find an envelope for that to fit, a normal envelope, rather than trying to, or having to put it in a sort of card box. Okay, and I'm going to pop that coming over the edge like so. Now I can see that there are some pips on here, so let's just tidy that up. And if you've got any sort of silhouette flower dies, you could easily come in with some on there. They would look nice, especially if you're cutting them out of the silver. They would really tie in really well with this. So let's just use this bit up here. I'm just going to pop a little bit of tacky glue on, just in case I want to change my mind and move that around. Okay, so that's the card finished. Now what we need, what we always need, is going to be some gems, and I'm going to come in with these mid blue ones. These are the ones that either came from AliExpress or Temu. I think these ones were AliExpress, and they're actually nail gems rather than specific crafting gems, which is why they are super sparkly. So I'm going to pop, I'm not going to go with that one, I'm going to go with 2 on there. And then I'm going to bring that around. I think I'm going to pop 1 and 2 on here. And I'm going to leave that one out there because I am putting a bow here. And then I'm just going to bring those gems over here, so there's something on this side as well. These ones, I will go with the smaller ones, I think, just to keep my little variation going. Okay, so that's that. And then just to finish, if I grab my bow maker. This is an old Glitter Girls one, Hunkydory Do one. Not very expensive. I think it's like a couple of quid, 3 quid, something like that. And honestly, if you haven't got something like this, it's and you've got ribbon, then or you like to use ribbon, definitely worth having, because not only can you make, I've cut this way too long by the way, so apologies. Let's bring that down. And not only can you make bows on the Hunkydory one, I believe you can make tassels and things, because you can move the pegs on theirs. This was like back in the day when the first bone makers came out, with this Glitter Girl one. So these pegs are static, but ones like the Crafter Companion one, Hunkydory, and pretty much most of the later models here in the UK anyway, have movable pegs, which, you know, just gives you more options on what you can do with your ribbon. So I'm just going to cut those tails at an angle. I'm going to come in just where that hole is, and then just being careful not to move anything else. Sorry about Henry barking in the background. So I'm just taking the bin back, that's why. Okay, so that, I can't hold that up because of that clamp, well, those tweezers that I'm using as a clamp, but that is a super quick and simple card number 1. By the time I finish this video, I'll be able to take that clamp off and I'll show you the finished effect with the card open. But that is card number 1, and I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. Okay, so for card number 2, I thought I would do a little 5x5 stepper card. So stepper is the theme of the day today. Just because I think pretty much is going to be, the tags will cover most of the central part of a 5x5 with a little bit on either side. So I thought it might look nice. So let's have a go and see what it looks like. So I've got a piece of this navy blue adorable scoreable, which was part of that bigger pack. And I'm just going to cut that down to 10x5. So some nice big pieces left over. And then I'm going to come in, I'm going to pop this over to the 1-inch side on my cutter, my trimmer. Just make sure that's where it needs to be. And then I'm going to cut from 1 to 6. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Usually what I do is just end up going back from 6 to 1. So this sort of stepper itself, it's really easy to change it for a different size. So let's say if you wanted to use an 8x8, then these cut lines are going to be from 1 to 9. So you just add on 1 inch to that final cut, or at least the middle point of the card. Oops, why is that going wandering? So 1, 2, so I'm scoring at 1, 2 and 6. And what I should have done while it was in the trimmer is just mark out where that 5-inch one is for the centre part. So your middle of your card, you're going to pop back in your centre, and you're going to end up with your lines like so. So let's bring that in and just give those a nice little score, get those moving. And this is a really cute little stepper. I love this little 5x5. I'm just going to ease that down, and then once we've got those scores moving in the right direction, once we've got this card moving in the right direction, we can come in with our burnisher. Give those folds a bit of support, not forgetting the ones underneath. And we're going to end up with a super cute little 5-inch stepper. Okay, let's move those out the way. Let's bring our trimmer in. Now I might have, let's see, what size is that? No, that's too small. Maybe not. No, we'll go with a normal piece. So just going to get a 6x6 mini mat, and I'll use that. So this piece across here is going to be 1x5. So I'm going to take that to 2 notches under the 1 and 2 notches under the 5. And then for these pieces here, they are going to be 1 by 4. So let's turn it this way and just do 2 notches under the 1, 2 notches under the 1, and then 2 notches under the 4, 2 notches under the 4, and then this piece in the middle is going to be 3 by 4. So if I take that to 2 notches under the 4, I know I've wasted quite a bit on here, I could have kept a piece, but I didn't. So 2 notches under the 3, and then that piece is going to fit onto there in the centre. Now, thinking about what cardstock I want to use. So I don't know whether to use just my papers. Maybe. Let's have a look at the other piece of cardstock. I might grab some of that. Yeah, I'm definitely going to use papers. Now what I am going to do is grab my pack, because I do have those foiled pieces. Sorry, creaky chair again. So let me just grab the foiled cardstock. So I'm thinking maybe there's more foiled. So let's have a little look. Let me just grab them out for you. So we've got those ones. I'm looking for the lighter colours, I think. Maybe go with butterflies. I'm only going to use a little slither of it. Put it back into there, nice and safe. Okay. So I'm thinking if I just do 3/4 of an inch all the way down. Like I say, you're not going to see much of it. And I'm going to do 3 3/4 and 3 3/4. Still got another piece there that probably would fit on another stepper this size. So what size is that? So that's too small. Okay, so I'm going to keep that cardstock. I'm not going to use that. We're going to use this paper because we've got the 2 sides. So let's start by doing a piece that's 3/4 of an inch by 4 3/4. And that's going to be our floral piece on the bottom. And then, oops, I've got that one. A piece that's 2 3/4 by 4, 3, 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. Every now and then my brain freezes. That one should fit quite nicely onto there, like so. So let's pop those on. And then we're going to have our tag going up the whole length of the card and one of the little sentiments as well. So the best way to do this, I think, is going to be if I lay it out. Now I am going to be using the Dotty tape runner and the all-purpose glue on this, just because they're small pieces and I find that they tend to pop up when I use the other glue, which is quite annoying when you're wanting it to sort of settle down. Now with these side pieces, the most important thing to do is just make sure your tops are even. So even if it goes right down to the bottom of your fold, which nobody's going to see, as long as the top looks like it's got a nice even border around your card's going to look fab. There we go, so that's onto there, just give those a press down, and then we're going to come in with our beautiful little butterflies, and you can see how, you know, I mean, this is a 5x5 card, and I've literally just taken a less than an inch strip off it. Okay, just making sure those butterflies are going up the right way. And a nice amount of glue. There we go. Let's just move you over it just a little bit. The beauty about these dots is they do let you move them for a little while. So those are our two, and you can see even just as that's quite an expensive looking card. Then we're going to go with some dots on each end, and I'm kind of liking using my Adorable Scoreable for these mini cards. It's not something I ever did before this year, but I have to be honest, I wish I did, because I like the smaller cards anyway. They're sort of my thing for this year is smaller cards, even smaller cards. But yeah, I'm liking using the Adorable Scoreable on them. Okay. If I get a small win on the lottery, or I've got a bit of extra cash, I think I will get some A3 if they still have it by then, and then I'll be able to do some of the bigger ones in it as well. Okay. One of my craft, you know, like I have a list, I have I'm sure everybody's the same, I don't know, but I have a crafting wish list if I win the lottery, like big win the lottery, and I have like a crafting wish list for if I little win the lottery, you know, like sometimes you win like £80 or whatever. Well, I did a little while ago. So that is what our card is looking like, and I think honestly you could probably just put a sentiment on that, and that would be a good looking card. But we're going to do more. We are going to do more. So let's see, I think probably I'm going to go with this darker one with a, should I go for the darker one? Yeah, I'm not even going to put any other sentiment on, I'm just going to go with this. So we're going to add some gems, a bit of ribbon. So this is going to go just over the top there. So we can come in with, again I'm going 1mm. Not sure how big my five envelopes are. I'm not sure how generous they are. So pop that there, just for a bit of support. I'm going to edge on the edge. Err on the edge of caution, that's what I'm trying to say. So I think this might be quite a quick video today. There we go. There we go. I know a couple of you guys have messaged me to say that you've got yours. A couple of you have said that you love it as well. And it's really, really pretty, guys, really pretty. And I don't think it really comes across as well. It's one of those kits where you really have to see it in person. It looks good, don't get me wrong, it looks good on screen, but when you get it home, it's a whole different level of gorgeousness. Okay, so I'm going to pop that down, and then I'm going to put right to the bottom, so it's the whole length of my card, because they are just about 5 inches. I could have done with going over a little bit. I wonder if it's going to let me. Maybe not. Oh, no, we're going to leave it because that paper is going to come. We'll leave it. We'll leave it. It's just a tiny bit over to this left hand side, but I will live with that now because the paper is being. Oh, I don't want that colour. That's too dark. Let's go with the darker one. Let's go with this. Sorry, this is going to crinkle. Light blue ribbon. Again, this is one that would have come from, I think, AliExpress. And just going to go tie another little bow. And keep hold of it. Okay, so that's there. And then just bring those down, cut those off. Now I'm not going to put that on till last because I want to lift it up and show you. Let's bring in some gems. Now maybe we can go with this one with some silver ones, I think, rather than the blue. You see how I have the right top on it to remind me not to open it the wrong way. Let's pop that down. Let's just see how these look. Might be that they're too silver. I might have to look at something else. Yeah, they fade in way too much. Come back here and go back in with your friends. Okay, so I think these will be too light. But I have got those dark blue pearls. Yeah, don't like those. It's too pale. Okay, so let's bring in these pearls instead. If I had an even darker navy, that would have been great. I think these will be okay. Come here. Oh yeah, that's it. That's what we want. Maybe that size and that size. Okay, so let's come in. We're going to go with scrap a couple of those out just to make it easier to pick those up. And we're going to put one there. We're going to put one there. And I'm going to go with 2 here. Smaller ones. Oh, turn over. There we go. Sometimes it's little things like these little pearls, these little gems, that's just that finishing touch that just brings everything all together. So how have we got in a minute? We've got 6. Now I'm kind of thinking I want some smaller ones. There we go. This desk does not seem to be on a straight base. Pop one. Yeah, I will put one up here. So you can go back with your friends, that's it, and you, everybody in. Okay, so that, let me just hold that up and then I'll put the bow on in a second so you can see how pretty that looks. I mean, people would notice that on a shelf, but we're just gonna add a little bit extra to it by popping a little bit of glue, and you'll only see the sort of effect, I guess, once this is all dried, and you'll see a photo online. So I'm going to pop that one down like so. Let's bring in our first one. Just take that clamp off. What I will do is just trim those down a little more, I think. It's hiding that sentiment a bit. So that is our first card, that little faux stepper. And then we've got the proper stepper with the 5x5. So these are my cards for today. So this one was called Meadow Moments. Still got 4 tags on there. Still got a whole piece of card and a half, as well as those papers. So plenty left to play with. I'm going to try and come up with a couple of different ideas for using those tags. I tend not to use them as tags. I know you can just literally, you know, do a card with this set and then you put the tag on a present to match. You know, that's definitely an option you can do, but I tend to, if it's, you know, I tend to want to craft it out in some way or another. So I'll try and come up with a couple of different ideas with some more of those tags. But that's it for today. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye.